What is up, guys? My name's Jackal, and we are here for Final Fantasy Adventure Secret of Mana Zero, the prequel, the origin story. And we are here for also the season finale of Season 2 of Bojack Horseman. And this is going to be kind of a shorter, more abridged episode. I kind of had this problem with the last season finale, where I feel that because it's the season finale, there's a lot of things that are going to tie into alright, and then okay, so I got to fix the rusty sword, but I feel like there's a lot of things that just don't quite, that I can't quite talk about the same way without addressing like the entire season and the themes that kind of carry throughout. Is this not doing any damage to them? But we got to talk relatively quickly because I am getting ready to take my girlfriend to the hospital to induce her pregnancy to have our kid. And this is the only chance I'm going to have to do this today. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit like fucking palm sweaty mom spaghetti right now. So, but I'll talk about that a little bit in a little while. But as far as the season finale goes, I really enjoyed seeing where the characters left off this season. Because, you know, Bojack, you know, him and Todd have, especially the last couple episodes, it's been really rough on the two of them because, you know, Todd has been going through this thing where he wants to find, like, he wants to find a calling in life. He wants to find a thing. He wants to find, a family. Oh, I'm going to have to shoot him. But, you know, he wants all these things, and he kind of looks to Bojack as his best friend, who doesn't give him those things worth shit. And, you know, Todd goes on the fucking giggle ship, the comedy cruise line with his improv group that's totally not a critique on Scientology at all in the slightest. Ooh, double smack, double smack. Excuse me. But Todd goes on there and, you know, he doesn't really enjoy it because, well, one, he finds out the guy's a fraud, the main guy. No, not magic. So, aside from that, you know, he's just not into improv the way that everybody else is, and everybody else is like a fucking psycho over it. So, he eventually gets, like, we'll say hypnotized is how we'll put it. And Bojack has to, at the end of the episode, rescue him. But Bojack through the episode is going through his own thing where, you know, after the failure that went down in New Mexico, he's feeling especially useless right now. And Princess Carolyn informs him that the movie is fine and, you know, he's not going to be sued by the studio, but she's actually there to take him to an orphanage where some of his money or proceeds from something or other, I think it was involving with horsing around, went to forming an orphanage. And the big problem with Bojack is that he doesn't remember doing this. So to him, it's a good thing that he's actually done, which should be at least moderately commended. Like, sure, he doesn't remember it, it's kind of goofy, but, you know, ultimately, he is giving kids who didn't have a home. Even if he doesn't remember it, like, that's still a good action on his part. But he doesn't take the same sort of joy out of it because it's a good thing he did, but it was on accident. And still reeling from, damn it. Excuse me. Still reeling from the shit that went down. Oh, I never noticed how much more fucking poison takes out of my health now. I guess it scales with your level, which is pretty cool. I forget where I'm going. Apologize for the sniffles once more. But, you know, he feels that way, whereas opposed to when he talks with Todd, you know, or his goal in rescuing Todd is that, and he says this at the end of the episode, you know, him accepting Todd onto his couch is one of the best things that he ever did on purpose. Because, you know, he actually did, you know, even though he disrespects Todd, and it is fucked up what he does, and, you know, when it was pointed out, I like that he always has, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I've noticed that he has this physical tick whenever he's, like, nervous or being scrutinized, where he, like, either scratches the back of his head or he grabs onto, like, his elbow with one of his arms. And he always does that. All right, I got to remember where to go. And when he's being criticized by the improv group about, you know, him sabotaging the rock opera album and always disrespecting Todd, he was very uncomfortable by it. So he recognizes, on top of that he's not a good person, that a lot of the shit that he does to Todd's really fucked up. So that's at least good on him to notice. Oh, excuse me, fish. Wait. Wow, this fish can take an ass beating. All right, well, how about this? Chwa! I love it. All right. All right, continuing on. But, yeah, it's just the I forgot exactly the tangent I was going on. I apologize, but it's basically just the comparison on how Bojack looks at the things that he does that are good, that he's done, you know, by choice, and the things that he's forgotten about. And unfortunately, because he abuses a lot of alcohol, he forgets quite often. So, may not be the best standard for him to go by. I like how we get the weekend, like the super weak original enemies just for a hot minute. And then we're back. Come on, Chocobo. Alright, I don't know if some story shit's going to happen as we talk to the king, or I think that's Sibba in there. So, let's try to finish a little bit of this real quick. Before we continue on with story time. Especially because I don't really have that long. So, you know, that comparison between how Bojack looks at the things he does on accident on purpose makes a difference to him. And, you know, it is good to see him and Todd reconcile, at least for a minute. And I enjoyed it. It was a very nice ending to an arc where, like, the two of them were clearly, like, kind of at each other's, like, not at each other's throat, but, like, at a distance with each other. And it was nice to see them reconcile. I don't know how long that's going to last for, because Bojack seems very adept at repeating his mistakes all the time. But at least for now, it's a very good spot for them to leave off at, and I'm very happy for it. And then we have my girl, PC. I knew that rabbit fuck was all sorts of bullshit. I knew it, and I was right. And all it was him trying to get PC to work with him because he wanted to mooch off of her. Because I remember at the beginning of the season, they did a lot of, or not a lot of, but there was an incident where she had a client that she was going to get a part for, and, ew, hair in my mouth. When Rutabaga had asked her about it, he basically, like, you see him write down the information and got that part for one of his clients. So I think he was just trying to mooch off of the fact that PC is a fucking badass and don't fuck around in this world. And I think he was just trying to take advantage of that. And it really sucks because, you know, right as they're about to leave, you find out that that shithead of a boss that she has was actually, like, had a stroke. So, you know, the son's upset and everyone's, like, trying to console him. And fucking Rutabaga just burns the bridge and just fucking or, like, basically, like, teabags him. Like, says, like, stroke these nuts or some shit. And just burns a bridge with them. So, like, PC not only is being, like, unknowing to her, charged with, like, giving this guy a more successful opportunity through her abilities, he also burns down the possibility of her being able to work elsewhere again. And you know what she does? She fucking says, I don't need you. Because he tries playing the whole, like, oh, well, at your age, you're not going to find a guy who's got, you know, who wants to be tied down, who's going to give you everything you want. You know, you're too old for that. You know, just take what you can get. Excuse me. And she was like, you know what? I don't have a problem with being alone. Fuck you. And she leaves. And I was so happy. I was so happy when she did that shit. That was magical. That was everything that I wanted. Italian hands. Because you could tell. He was a fucker. At first it seemed like when he was like, oh, I'm getting a divorce, and they started getting together, it was like, all right, maybe. But then he started playing fast and loose with the divorce last episode. Nah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. And then you have Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter, who, you know, Diane's wrestling with her depression, and, you know, Peanut Butter's even, like, calling her out on the show, like, saying, like, I just want to tell my wife that I'm proud of you and how good you're doing. And at least people who've, like, suffered through, like, any kind of episodes like she is, you can, like, lie to your loved ones and, like, have them think that you're doing all this good things, and them congratulating you on that, like, even, like, it hurts you even more. That, like, you have to fake success, and then they congratulate you on that success, and it makes you feel even worse. And obviously, the solution is, well, then don't do that. But when you're in the middle of that kind of spell, you don't notice it as much. And Diane's, you know, she feels like a failure. And she doesn't want to come crawling back to her husband and feel as if, you know, she's fucked everything up and, you know, she wasn't able to do what she set out to do, and that, you know, she's a punk or nothing. And it hurts her. It hurts her to know that, like, this shit that she's wanted to do and, like, be important for her whole career. You know, she's, what, 35? Like, she's been in this career, you know, if she's went to college at a normal time, she's had this career for over a decade. And, you know, her most notable thing is, you know, doing the fucking Secretariat book. So she wants more from her career. And, you know, I don't blame her for not wanting to work with a fucking piece of shit. But, like, she took it to heart as, like, that might have been her only chance. And because of how real this show is, there's a chance that might be her only chance to do something like that. So it sucks to see the way that it has to go. But, like, Peanut Butter sees her at a restaurant, and he right away just tells her, basically just tells her to come home. Plain and simple. He just tells her to come home. And it's actually a very heartwarming and sweet moment because to Mr. Peanut Butter, all he wants is his wife home. You know, he wasn't really keen on her going. It was mainly just because he knew that she wanted to go. So I think the fact that she didn't come home to him sooner is going to come up, and probably not in the most positive way, because it is kind of fucked up, especially when her fear was unwarranted. You know, it doesn't matter that she fucked it up. Mr. Peanut Butter is going to welcome her home all the same. So, this actually is going to be the last video that I drop for about a week, because since, as I record this, this will pop up on my channel the day after, just for anybody who gets reference, ever watches this later, you can get the full story. But as I record this, you know, I'm getting ready to take my girl to the hospital, and, you know, I'm going to be dealing with a newborn baby for a week, so that's going to take precedent, and, yeah, I'll be back in a week. But next weekend, I'm going to binge through the entire second season of Bojack the way that I did the first one, and try to kind of see what kind of patterns we see along the way. Oop, hello. And any themes that, like, any different kind of things we notice watching the whole season in one swoop. So, but that'll be in a week. All right. The only way left is to reveal the way to Dime Tower. Dime Tower? In the desert of crystal? How? That sword will help you. Use it in the Cave of Ruins. You'll see it. This rusty sword has such a great power. The Sword of Legend shows its real power only when it approves of your using it. If you're a real Knight of Gemma, it will help you. But I don't know if it... Don't worry. Now go. The Cave of Ruins is in the desert near Ish. Ask Dr. Bow Wow, he knows it well. Okay. So I don't remember where to go, but I do remember Dr. Bow Wow. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to find him on this map. Thank you so much. Sibba's waiting in the other room. Useless. Useless. Come, bird. So good, we can find a town, and then we can sell off some of our shit, we can open up our inventory, and then we're going to get ready for, this feels like pretty endgame shit. I've been doing this game for like 20 episodes now. A little bit more, so excuse me, dick. Let me ride you. Alright. Actually, let me do this real quick. In case anybody texts. I only got about 10 more minutes, so that's going to have to cut it for today. Nice short episode. But yeah, no, this is, I'm really fucking nervous about today. I mean, so's my girl, because she's 6 days away from her actual scheduled due date. But because of her age, they want to induce the pregnancy early because it's, I guess, the Goldilocks zone is a little earlier than the full pregnancy. Which is fine. Like, you know, I don't understand why, but, like, it's not escapable to the imagination as to why that would be. So, you know, that kind of registers, that kind of makes sense to me. So, is this where Bow Wow is? Is this the area? I forget. I forget where all these areas are. Move away from me. Look at that. I am correct. This old man. I never cease to not be able to not talk to him every time I walk in this fucking place. Alright. Take a quick napping up. Save now that we've made our way over here. What's up, Scruffy? Scruffy. Finally, there is a piece of crystal you can blow with Nuke. The crystal in... A crystal in Crystal Desert. Dog, what? There's so many of them. Is Nuke a whole screen? Like a screen wipe? If it's a screen wipe, I can deal with that. Alright, get out of my way. But, you know, my girl, she says that, you know, at this time she's usually feeling contractions and shit. And she hasn't really felt them. Even though we're right there, you know, at the final mark. So she's nervous. She's never actually had, like, her pregnancy induced. It's always just happened naturally. So she's, of course, you know, she's scared. And, you know, I understand. I get it. You know, even though it's weird, she's never had, like, the assistance of doctors. The way that she has with this pregnancy, you know. She's not used to, you know, things being done this way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hell yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get my fucking... My PP... My MP back. Oh, it's not PP in this game. My bad. Move, stupid bug. Don't worry, Chocobo. I shall return shortly. Oh, how does... You are straight up not even touching me. Go away. Oops, my bad, dog. But she hasn't had the same doctor assistance ever for any of her other pregnancies like she does now. But regardless, you know, it being a different than how her other pregnancies have been, you know, still makes her worry. And I get that. For me, it's just, you know, not... I'm sure other people who've had a parent just completely absent from their life, I'm sure you can, like, resonate with this, but you do feel like... Did I say? Yeah. But there is a part of you that worries, like, if the part of that one parent that, like, sucked... Oh, okay, I see how it is. Unicorn? What the fuck is that? Alright. Well, you know what? I don't need any, like, items that are, like, sellable items. I don't need any more money. I feel like money is useless at this point. But, like, I do worry if, like, the part of my dad that, like, skipped out, that, like, the part about being a bad parent, if that shit's, like, genetic. It's a huge worry, actually. Like, definitely not something... Oh, Jesus Christ. Definitely not something that, like... that, like, I feel safe and secure in at all. Because, you know, you grow up your whole life wondering, you know, am I going to be the same way as they were? And it's fucking terrifying. Even though I was raised by somebody, you know, who wasn't my birth parents, my birth father. So, like, I've gotten to experience, like, what having a real dad is like. Dope. So, like, I know it's bullshit. I know you don't have to be, like, related to a kid or related to him. It's just all, like, it's all good. But you still fucking worry about it nonetheless. Like, it's still fucking terrifying. Shit, I mean, I took on her other kid as my own son. So, like, I should know that, like, it's not going to be that bad. Like, I'm already a dad, but, you know, you're still fucking scared nonetheless. So, it is what it is. It's fucking, it's spoopy for sure. Fuck out my way. Fuck out of here. Those are the fucking magic beams. Boo! Boo, how'd you hit me? Come on, snails are supposed to be slow, not fast. Stop it. Oh, Jesus, what the fuck was that? It was like a reflection of me that shot out at me. But it had like the shocked expression on his face. I don't know, man. I think today actually is going to go really well. I think the weekend is going to go great. I'm excited for it. It's just going to be very stressful because it's just one of those situations where there's nothing about it that I can really do. It's just got to kind of happen. But that's actually going to be it for today, guys. I'm done. I got a lot to do this weekend, so peace out. Next time I talk, I will I talk on here, I'll have had another kid. I'm excited. Peace out.